record it in case anybody wants to listen on YouTube. I'm going to start with a little bit of body mind centering. Get myself centered. I just rub my hands and then put them over my eyes. Alrighty, so as I already said, I did not write a poem this week. I wrote some words.
That's how a poem starts.
Yeah, usually I just sort of free associate for a while. And,
Hmm
oh well, next week I'll get one.
What happens to me is I get a phrase in my head, and then when the phrase makes the whole poem.
Yeah, I relate to that. That's why I thought my winter clouds might help me, but didn't do it. Well, here's a poem that I have never read because I don't know that I like it, but I think I should probably read it. It's called Halfway. Why did I first start climbing the mountain? I don't know. Maybe I'd heard something about the vistas I might see, the clean air, the exhilaration I'd feel in my body. At first, I'd climb just a little way. As I got accustomed, I hiked further. It became a drive to see how far I could climb. And at the same time, something else was began to happen, began happening. There'd be moments I didn't understand, moments that felt utterly new, but so familiar too. I started looking for them, like finding a new spring or a secret wooded valley. But I couldn't make them happen, like how I could summon my resolve to reach a new height. The mountain became a mystery. One day I reached a rock ledge. I judged it to be halfway up. It seemed I had arrived at someplace important. Each time I came here, I'd sit and have the feeling I didn't want to leave. And for a moment, it felt like I never would leave. This is where I was supposed to be. I knew a peace I'd never known before. Yet now my life below became more complicated. I had a career and now a wife and a family. Haha. I was too busy to climb. In time, the children left, and so too the wife. She said she needed something new in her life. It felt like some of my goals had become mirages as well. One day I put on my old hiking boots. It took a while to clear up my lungs, firm on the muscles in my legs, until one day I came again to the rock ledge halfway up the mountain. The old feeling came back, as if no time had passed. I came each day and stayed later each time, until one day the sun set, and in the dark I knew I could not go back down until morning. I was elated, yet of course also afraid. I might die in the cold, or some animal might come and eat my heart. I did survive, did survive and hike down in the morning. Barbara's here, cool. I did survive and hike down in the morning, yet part of me did not return. I realized that some magic ceremony had taken place. Something had eaten my heart on the mountain, and now I was part of the mountain.
I don't know why you don't like that poem.
It's not done yet.
Oh,
Part of the streams and boulders, the squirrels and blue jays. Now, when the children visited, I was with them and on the mountain, and things seemed whole and as they should be. and my ex-wife said there was something different about me. I'd found my true place halfway between heaven and earth. Hmm,
Very nice.
not bad. Okay. I thought it was a little manipulated, but yeah, well. Okay. Well, here's another one about hiking. I'll read that one. Hello, Barbara. Hiking with a
Hello.
friend. Hey, hi. Hiking with a friend. My friend and I are hiking through an oak forest. It's a nature area between streets and houses, yet it feels original here, old and ancient. We stop by an oak that has let go of life. It simply fell apart at the center. We feel its dead limbs lying on the ground. Like old druids, we are reverent, and at the end of the trail, another leads downhill. We descend, trying not to slip on the eucalyptus nuts. We come to a little church perched on a hill. A stone St. Francis sits in the yard. We sit with him. He is mossy and perhaps has some bird droppings on him. I don't think the original Francis would mind. He loved nature and God, and I think he knew no difference between the two. We sit content at peace. Then it's time to head back uphill. As we feel each of our steps on the supportive earth, we know this is our prayer today.
Mm.
Okay, here's one I don't think I've ever read either. A dark cloud. The finches and sparrows land on the feeder and immediately begin looking around for danger. Are they afraid? I suppose, but not like people fear. We see a dark cloud approaching, yet we don't know if it's real or imaginary. This scares us, this not knowing, this cloud of unknowing. If the cloud would actually release thunder and lightning and torrential rain, it might be better for us. Then we could become active and respond, or as Rilke suggests, lay down before it as animals do. We feel helpless before what might happen. Sometimes the only way to counteract the imaginary gale is to meet it with our own breath, our lungs opening and closing, just like a celestial squeeze box playing heavenly music. Not too bad.
Very nice.
Yeah, thanks. Well, let's read Glenda's 50-year-old poem. Yeah. Let's see, where are you? There you are. It's called Glory Surrender. Okay. This glory bathes my soul with light, promises beauty in the breath of night. I taste nectar in the warmth of your skin, and your touch awakens fire where agony had been. Trembling flame of trust makes me smile, says it will stay forever a while. Bursts into brilliance, caressing my mind, with dreams I'd forgotten in the torment of time. I bask in the warmth of sienna-hued eyes, laugh at the sunshine as it sheds its disguise. Apathy withers and fades far away, taking for company the shreds of decay. My heart cries, jubilant with memories of you, lost in the melody so soft, so new, embracing the sweet joy, touching the dawn. I succumb to the glory of this gentle, glad song. Boy, that's lovely.
Thank you.
50 years ago?
50 years ago, I was just a little girl.
1975.
Yeah. At 9:30 in the morning. I don't know what I was doing at 9:30 in the morning.
You were writing some glorious poetry.
Yeah.
It's fun to read poetry that rhymes. It has such a nice cadence when you read it. Yes, 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 lovely. Barbara says she likes it.
Thank you, Barbara.
Yeah. All righty. Lovely. Okay. Well, now we'll read some other poetry. It's a little one by somebody named Bronislaw Maj. I think it was Polish. It's called A Leaf. A leaf, one of the last, parts from a maple branch. It is spinning in the transparent air of October, falls on a heap of others, stops, fades. No one admires its entrancing struggle with the wind, followed its flight. No one will distinguish it now as it lies among other leaves. No one saw what I did. I am the only one.
Hmm.
Oh, here's by another Polish writer. Wisławska Szymborska. Miracle Fair, Fair. The commonplace miracle that so many common miracles take place. The usual miracles, invisible dogs barking in the dead of night. One of many miracles, a small and airy cloud is able to upstage the massive moon. You like that one? Several miracles in one. An alder is reflected in the water and is reversed from left to right and grows from crown to root and never hits bottom, though the water isn't deep. A run-of-the-mill miracle, winds mild to moderate, turning gusty in storms. A miracle in the first place, cows will be cows. Next but not least, just this cherry orchard, from just this cherry pit. A miracle minus top hat and tails, fluttering white doves. A miracle, what else can you call it? The sun rose today at 3:14 a.m. and will set tonight at 8:01.
Hmm.
That must be way in the north somewhere.
Yeah.
A miracle that's lost on us. The hand actually has fewer than 6 fingers, but still it's got more than 4. A miracle. Just take a look around. The inescapable earth. An extra miracle, extra and ordinary. The unthinkable can be thought. I like that. I read that one.
Mhm.
Here's one by Ryokan, as a Japanese poet. First days of spring, the sky. First days of spring, the sky is bright blue, the sun huge and warm. Everything's turning green. Carrying my monk's bowl, I walk to the village to beg for my daily meal. The children spot me at the temple gate and happily crowd around, dragging on my arms till I stop. I put my bowl on a white rock, hang my bag on a branch. First we braid grasses and play tug-of-war. Then we take turns singing and keeping a kickball in the air. I kick the ball and they sing, they kick and I sing. Time is forgotten, the hours fly. People passing by point at me and laugh. Why are you acting like such a fool? I nod my head and don't answer. Oh, there's more. I could say something, but why? Do you want to know what's in my heart? From the beginning of time, just this, just this. Well, here's another one by him in the same vein. Ellen liked that one. Nothing satisfies some appetites, but wild plants ease my hunger. Free of untoward desires, all things bring me pleasure. Tattered robes, warm frozen bones, I wander with deer for companions. I sing to myself like a crazy man, and children sing along. Here's a short one by somebody named Kobayashi Isa. Children imitating cormorants are even more wonderful than cormorants. Yeah, here's a short one by Basho. He was a pretty famous poet, wasn't he? A field of cotton, as if the moon had flowered. There's some more about the moon. This is by Yosa Busan. Such a moon, the thief pauses to sing. Another one by Isa. Full moon, my ramshackle hut is what it is. Oh, here's one of my favorite ones by James Wright. A blessing. Just off the highway to Rochester, Minnesota, twilight bounds softly forth on the grass. In the eyes of those two Indian ponies darken with kindness. They have come gladly out of the willows to welcome my friend and me. We step over the barbed wire into the pasture, where they have been grazing all day alone. They ripple tensely. They can hardly contain their happiness that we have come. They bow shyly as wet swans. They love each other. There is no loneliness like theirs. At home once more, they begin munching the young tufts of spring in the darkness. I would like to hold the slender one in my arms, for she has walked over to me and nuzzled my left hand. She is black and white. Her mane falls wild on her forehead. And the light breeze moves me to caress her long ear that is delicate as the skin over a girl's wrist. Suddenly I realize that if I stepped out of my body, I would break into blossom. Let's see, here's another one about horses by Neruda. Horses. From the window I saw the horses. I was in Berlin in winter. The light was without light, the sky skyless, the air white like a moistened loaf. From my window I could see a deserted arena, a circle bitten out of the teeth of winter. All at once, led out by a single man, 10 horses were stepping into the snow. Scarcely had they rippled into existence like flame, than they filled the whole world of my eyes. Empty till now, faultless, flaming, they stepped like 10 gods on broad, clean hooves, their manes recalling a dream of salt spray. Their rumps were globes, were oranges. Their color was amber and honey was on fire. Their necks were towers carved from the stone of pride. And in their furious eyes sheer energy showed itself, a prisoner inside them. And there in the silence at the midpoint of the day, in a dirty, disgruntled winter, The horse's intense presence was blood, was rhythm, was the beckoning light of all being. I saw, and in seeing I came to life. There was the unwitting fountain, the dance of gold, the sky, the fire that sprang to life in beautiful things. I have obliterated that gloomy Berlin winter. I shall not forget the light from those horses. What a master of images and language. Wow. Here's a little one by Walt Whitman. When I heard the learned astronomer, when I heard the learned astronomer, when the proofs, the figures were ranged in columns before me, when I was shown the charts and diagrams to add, divide, and measure them, when I sitting heard the astronomer where he lectured with much applause in the lecture room, how soon, unaccountable, I became tired and sick, till rising and gliding out, I wandered off by myself in the mystical, moist night air, and from time to time looked up in perfect silence at the stars.
You looked up at perfect silence at the stars. I like that line.
Yeah.
Perfect silence.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Ellen says she likes that one. She knows that one. Okay. Here's one by the Jacques Prévert. Obviously, he's French. The dunce. He says no with his head, but he says yes with his heart. He says yes to what he loves. He says no to the teacher. He stands. He is questioned, and all the problems are posed. Sudden, mad laughter seizes him, and he erases all the words and figures, names and dates, sentences and snares, and despite the teacher's threats, to the jeers of infant prodigies, with chalk of every color, on the blackboard of misfortune, he draws the face of happiness. That was translated from the French by Lawrence Ferlinghetti. Let's see what time is it? This is a little one by an old Japanese poet, Yusa Busan. My arm for a pillow. I really like myself under the hazy moon. Yeah. This is one by William Stafford. Ask me. Sometime when the river is ice, ask me mistakes I have made. Ask me whether what I have done is my life. Others have come in their slow way into my thought, and some have tried to help or to hurt. Ask me what difference their strongest love or hate has made. I will listen to what you say. You and I can turn and look at the silent river and wait. We know the current is there, hidden. There are comings and goings from miles away that hold the stillness exactly before us. What the river says, that is what I say. And here's one by Fernando Pessoa, who was Portuguese. Calm because I'm unknown, and beside because I'm calm, I want to fill my days with wanting nothing from them. For those whom wealth touches, gold irritates the skin. For those on whom fame blows, life fogs over. On those for whom happiness is their sun, night will fall. For those who hope for nothing are glad for whatever comes. I like that. Well, it's already 6:30. Okay. I guess it's time for a few Marys. This is called Spring. Somewhere a black bear has just risen from sleep and is staring down the mountain all night in the brisk and shallow restlessness of early spring. I think of her, her 4 black fists flicking the gravel, her tongue like a red fire touching the grass, the cold water. There is only one question: how to love this world. I think of her rising like a black and leafy ledge, to sharpen her claws against the silence of the trees. Whatever else my life is, with its poems and its music and its glass cities, it is also this dazzling darkness coming down the mountain, breathing and tasting. All day I think of her, her white teeth, her wordlessness, her perfect love. The hermit crab. Once I looked inside the darkness of a shell folded like a pastry, and there was a fancy face, or almost a face. It turned away and frisked up its brawny forearms so quickly against the light in my looking in, I scarcely had time to see it, gleaming under the pure white roof of old calcium. When I set it down, it hurried along the tide line of the sea, which was slashing along as usual, shouting and hissing toward the future, turning its back with every tide on the past, leaving the shore littered every morning with more ornaments of death. What a pearly rubble from which to choose a house like a white flower, and what a rebellion to leap into it and hold on, connecting everything, the past to the future, which is of course the miracle, which is the only argument there is against the sea. Yeah, let's do one more.
Who would think about writing a poem about a hermit crab? You know, that's so
That's so her.
so poetic.
Yeah. I don't know if we have hermit crabs out here in California. We have these little crabs that burrow into the sand, and then these sandpipers come and peck at them with their long beaks. Ellen likes that. Okay, one last one for her. This is lilies. I have been thinking about living like the lilies that blow in the fields. They rise and fall on the wedge of the wind, and have no shelter from the tongues of the cattle, and have no closets or cupboards, and have no legs. Still, I would like to be as wonderful as that old idea. But if I were a lily, I think I would wait all day for the green face of the hummingbird to touch me. What I mean is, could I forget myself, even in those feathery fields, when Van Gogh preached to the poor, and of course he wanted to save someone, most of all himself. He wasn't a lily, and wandering through the bright fields, only gave him more ideas. It would take his life to solve. I think I would always be lonely in this world, where the cattle graze like a black and white river, where the ravishing lilies melt without protest on their tongues, where the hummingbird, whenever there is a fuss, just rises and floats away. Well, cool. I enjoyed tonight.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, Glenda. And thank you, everyone else, Ellen and Roxanne and Brenda and Barbara. So I'm going to close off and wish you all. Roxanne says thank you. Ellen said, I think thank you. All right, guys. I'll see you all next week on Wednesday. Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Barbara's saying thanks too. All right. Here we go.